Good evening, dear viewers, and welcome to the 6 p.m. news on Campus Television. We begin right away with our major stories. Members of the ruling CPDM party and sympathizers nationwide celebrated the historic 40th jubilee of His Excellency Paul Biya as President of Cameroon since November 6, 1982. We will be visiting some regions to see how the anniversary was celebrated. Ex-students of a PHS Batibo in Momo Division, Northwest region of Cameroon, have raised the sum of 3.8 million CFA francs during their annual General Assembly to reconstruct the school affected by socio-political crisis. At least 19 people have died in a plane crash in Tanzania's Lake Victoria as a result of bad weather. Those were our headlines. Developments just in a while. Thanks once more for joining us, dear viewers. As you heard in one of our lead stories, yesterday, November 6, 2022, was a historic day in Cameroon as members of the ruling CPDM party and also sympathizers joined together to celebrate the 40th Golden Jubilee of His Excellency Paul Biya since his ascension to power on November 6, 1982. At the Yaoundé Town Hall here, it was another grandiose ceremony that saw the participation of the Prime Minister and other top government officials. The ceremony was presided by the Assistant Secretary General of the party. Geraldine Nassé and Samuel Bonis were present. This is their report.
CPDM militants drawn from the 10 divisions of the Central region have celebrated the 40 years anniversary of President Paul Biya at the helm of the Supreme Magistracy of Cameroon. November 6, 1982 to November 6, 2022 is described by many as 40 years of hard work and achievements.
Yeah, 40 years is a great success to because it is not easy. It's not 40 days. You see, managing a country, a nation, for 40 years is not giving great capacity. And when he came to power, he had a very good program for Cameroon. That every individual should feel free in Cameroon. And in his achievement, so far, first, he democratized the political system. People should feel free to form their political parties. And he also aim to get to the Supreme Magistracy.
The ceremony was centered around reinforcing mobilization behind President Paul Biya for the emergence of the country by 2035.
There is a program that we have put in place to mobilize people to go and get registered on the electoral list. But the only way for us to respect our champion is that people should register because there are so many political parties. It's a competition. And if we don't encourage them to come out massively and register, things will not work well for the party. Yes. So we don't want to leave any stone unturned. So they should come out and they should preach the good news.
The event that took place at the Yaoundé City Council was presided over by Grégoire Owona, Assistant Secretary General of the CPDM Central Committee.
On the occasion of the celebration of the 40th anniversary of the accession to the Supreme Magistracy of our country of His Excellency.
The colorful ceremony, animated with dances, saw the presence of grand militants such as the Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, President of the Senate, Marcel Nyat Njifenji, and several members of government who rallied behind the president. For 40 years of power is not given to who want, but to who can.
We remain in a celebration. This time around, we move over to Monatele, that is in Leke, here in the central region of the country, where militants and sympathizers also came together to jointly celebrate and share the cake that was distributed to commemorate the 40th anniversary of His Excellency Paul Biya. Now, let's listen to the Minister of State Properties, Surveys and Land Tenure, Henry Yebe Ayisi, as he expresses joy as he's taking part in the ceremony. Let's listen to him.
On this special day of the 6th of November 2022, I'm personally and together we have been delighted to celebrate the man, the great man, His Excellency President Paul Biya, who is ruling from 40 years, who had been the one that God have chosen to rule Cameroon, to govern Cameroon from 40 years yet. We say we are happy that the results of his politics, the wisdom, the vision, the achievements and the perspectives, the face, what he really he represents for all generations is the facts, the main point and items we have developed in our speeches. We have chosen as CPDM party that is governing, is ruling, is heading, to invite those who have chosen to join him to govern Cameroon as allied political parties. We are happy that we have been invited at the divisional special delegation, permanent delegation of Leke. We have been invited by the president of the section of Leke West 1 section here, CPDM, and those who have joined us. We have celebrated the president. We are happy that they have been there, and finally we are convinced that the head of state, His Excellency Paul Biya, is the one to continue to rule. We will continue to work with him, to work beside him. We have been honored at Leke Division that he came here to comfort us that he is really with us, and we continue to work and pray that he continue to rule Cameroon over 2025. We are really behind him. All generations are mobilized for the national interest. I'm very happy for this celebration and thank all those who have taken part to assure this today. The feats will continue today and over beyond today, beyond this event. Thanks a lot.
That was the Minister of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure, Henry Yebe Ayisi, giving his impression during the 40th anniversary in Monatele, Leke here in the Central region. We move over to Tonga, that is in the West region. Militants and sympathizers also mobilized to make this ceremony a historic one. Afu Gislen and Samuel Bonis were there, and this is their report.
CPDM militants of the Tonga section have joined their counterparts nationwide to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the accession to power of His Excellency President Paul Biya, a man of valor whom has sat at the helm of the country to ensure development, stability and peace.
You see, the freedom of press. What are we doing now? We are exchanging, we are discussing. There are so many debates. Yeah? As far as political parties are concerned, we had only one party system. It was CPDM, the only political party in Cameroon. But since 1990, with the new laws opening the political system, we have today 300 and 29 political parties in Cameroon. You see how many newspapers? More than 600 newspapers. You have about 50 televisions in Cameroon, radios. So we think that President Paul Biya sincerely have done so much for the development and welfare of Cameroon. And
40 years of power has seen his handwriting on the sands of time.
It is a very big day for us today. And we are very happy to celebrate it because President Paul Biya, after spending 40 good years at the helm of the state, has brought to Cameroonian democracy, economic growth, public liberties, and common welfare in all the domains of our life. If we take the social domain, how many schools in 40 years? You know, we used to have only one high school in any subdivision. But today, you have many secondary schools in villages, which means that there have been a great improvement because of the leadership of His Excellency Paul Biya. If you take the domain of roads, those who are in Bamenda, those who are in Boya, you see how many roads are tarred today. Before 1982, how many tarred roads did we have? If you take the hospitals, you see, you take universities. We have general hospitals almost everywhere, every region now. Universities, we had only one university, University of Yaoundé Ngwaikele. But today, how many? 11 universities. Each region has its own university. And the Secretary region has even 2 universities.
A grandiose ceremony was one where the militants used the opportunity to pledge their loyalty and support to the head of state.
We think that President Paul Biya sincerely have done so much for the development and welfare of Cameroon. And we have to support him and ask the Almighty God to give him blessings, to give him health, to give long life and prosperity for himself, for his family, and for the common good of the whole Cameroon.
With his 2035 vision of an emerging nation, a united and one Cameroon in its diversity, the celebration brought together not only militants of the ruling party, but also authorities of the Ndé division, well-wishers and sympathizers.
From the West region, we come back to the Center region. We move over directly to Ngumo West in the Mefu and Akono division, where militants of the ruling party sympathizers also came together to celebrate a 40th Ruby Jubilee. It was an opportunity for the elite to thank His Excellency Popia for nominating some of their brothers and sisters into key posts of responsibilities in the state and the realization of some projects in that part of the country. They also said the president should stand in for another term during the 2025 presidential elections. Our reporters were there. Frank Ebenezer in this report.
40 ans déjà, l'âge de la maturité, l'âge de raison.
Le président Paul Biya, comme vous le savez peut-être pas, il a fait ses bancs dans notre département. Donc il peut être considéré comme un fils de la Moufouyakona. Il y a donc ces liens. Et en plus, les rapports qu'on a eus...
We are very sorry for that mix-up there. We're going to come back on that report. But while waiting, let's move over to the southwest region of the country, where militants of the ruling party, CPDM, came together in their numbers at the Bongo Square to celebrate a 40th Jubilee. It was a very important ceremony as the militants jubilated and said it was a golden opportunity to celebrate His Excellency Paul Biya at the Supreme Magistracy. Bertrand Tita in this report.
Legitimate accession to the Supreme Magistracy.
It was an atmosphere of abundant joy as the militants of the ruling CPDM party, patriots, authorities and well-wishers in the southwest region turned out massively at the Bongo Square on Sunday, November 6th to celebrate President Paul Biya's Ruby Jubilee as head of state. Despite ghost towns instituted by separatists, the occasion brought together thousands of inhabitants who came out and gave the occasion the impetus it deserved in a flamboyant manner.
As a leader and a statesman of the country, I want to thank God for him, for the grace, and we are very, very happy.
During the event, patriots used the opportunity to outline Mr. Biya's successes for 4 decades of his reign as head of state.
He's serving there as the head of this country, has given the young women and the young men the opportunity to study and to become responsible youths. That is why Cameroon is the only country in Africa and the world that trains medical doctors, engineers. Just the sum of 50,000 francs to the parents, we the parents pay as school fees.
A motion of support was equally echoed from the 3 wings of the party. The cutting of the anniversary cake spiced the event, and a clarion call for separatists and those perpetuating acts of uncivil behavior to desist and join the moving train, for Cameroon is one and indivisible.
We want to thank God for the wisdom given to him to ensure that the young people are being trained. And because of this, we call him the wise man in Africa. And we continue to say, bon anniversaire to our father, and wish him good health, wish him long life, and more grace as he stands the affairs of the nation.
Paul Biya's New Deal government for 40 years, through his principles of rigor, moralization and social justice, has earned him the architect of peace, development and the unity of the country in its diversity.
Historic moments that filled with joy. We now come back here in the central region, precisely in Gumu West, in the Mefu and Akono division, here in the central region, where militants and sympathizers of the ruling CPDM party also came together to share from the cake marking the 40th anniversary of His Excellency Paul Biya since his climbing to power on November 6th, 1982. It was a very important moment as the allies expressed their joy, thanking the President of the Republic for nominating some of their brothers and sisters to some key posts of responsibilities. Another opportunity for them to thank His Excellency Paul Biya for the tarring of roads and the realizations of some projects in that part of the country. A very important moment, some say. The President should stand in for another term of office during the 2025 presidential elections. Let's have details in this report. Just to remind you, we are moving over to Ngumu West, here in the central region, precisely in the Mefu and Akono division, where members of the ruling CPDM party came together to share from the cake marking the 40th anniversary of His Excellency Paul Biya. It was a joyful ceremony that we took part in that. Details in this report. very sorry. We are having some technical problems. We'll be coming back to that report. Let's now move over to the northwest region of the country, where the ex-students of PHS Batibo in Momo, that is in the northwest region of Cameroon, raised an amount of 3.8 million Cfa francs to rebuild the school that has been affected in one way or the other due to the socio-political crisis rocking that part of the country. We have details of these in this report with BrigadeAntiSardinard.
From where much is given, much is expected, and giving back to your alma mater is the pride of these former students of the Presbyterian High School PCHS Batibo, who have come together for their annual General Assembly in Boya, chieftown of the Southwest region. The General Assembly was an opportunity for these old schoolmates to make evaluation on their successes so far and to elect new executive bureau into office. The joy is unmeasurable.
I'm so happy that the two candidates who ran this schools were both very loved by patents. So I wish them well, and of course I will continue to stand by them. I am still a baton, and so I will continue to be a baton. And all I need to do now is to support them so that they should take the association to higher heights.
The outgoing President General is optimistic as he expects his successor to take up from where he ended, all to the glory of the association.
They should continue from where we've stopped, and they should even do better than us. If you look at the structure of our association, you have many more members than it is. And so it will be possible for them to bring in a lot of patents who are not yet part of the alumni association. So we're counting, we hope that because of the fact that it cut across, they were able to bring in a lot more younger patents.
The host chapter president is not indifferent, for it is a great success and the various delegates are satisfied.
Everything has gone on smoothly, and I'm so happy that the delegates are all happy with what they've seen and the preparation that has gone on before they're coming, and they're enjoying their stay here.
Without expecting to be elected President General, the incoming is aware that uneasy is the head that wears the crown.
The major issue we have now is to see how the school, the PCHS Batibo school, which has been down because of the crisis, to start running. That should be the major issue.
Their alma mater PCHS Batibo has been shut down for 5 years following the socio-political upheavals that has been eating deep the fabric of the northwest and southwest regions. The school saw its doors opened for this academic year not as a boarding school that it used to be, but as a day school. These ex-students equally raised millions of CFA francs to assist the smooth running of the institution.
From that report, let's now move over once more again to Ngomo, that is in the Mefu and Akono division here in the Central region, where militants of the ruling CPDM party came together to share from the cake commemorating 40th anniversary of His Excellency Paul Biya to pass since November 6, 1982. It was a very important meeting that saw elites thanking the president for putting or nominating some of their brothers and sisters into key posts of responsibilities in the state, and also calling on the president to stand in for another term during the presidential elections in 2025. Candice Television was fully represented, and this is the report.
40th candle lit to commemorate His Excellency President Paul Biya's ascension to power since November 6, 1982. Celebration at Ngumu West, Mefu and Akomo division, Central region of Cameroon. A powerful mobilization of CPDM party members and sympathizers to celebrate great achievements, peace, stability and unity in Cameroon.
The population of Mefu continue to support President Paul Biya by loyalty. President Paul Biya gave them many opportunities to be developed. You see the road, there is lycée, school, in sanitary and all. So we have gained many things from the President Paul Biya.
A celebration deep in the hearts of Cameroonians embracing this 40th Jubilee with special thanks to God Almighty and joint voices asking the Lion Man to remain candidate in the next presidential elections next 2025.
For us in Nofuakono, we are just praying God to give the president a lot of years again to continue to guide Cameroonians and to guide Cameroon, because what he did for 40 years, I think that he can also do some other things that can make Cameroon grow again. We are not sure. We prefer to live with the one that we know without the one that we don't know. We don't know our future.
All that started well ends well in Gumu West. Militants, sympathizers and patriotic youth remain optimistic of another celebration to mark 41st anniversary in colors and in another dimension in 2023.
From there, we now take you out of the country, where at least 19 people have been reported dead in a plane crash in Tanzania's Lake Victoria. This unfortunate incident has been blamed to poor weather. The rescue team on site have succeeded to rescue at least 26 people. These and other stories with BrigadeAntiSardinard.
At least 19 people have died following a plane crash that occurred in Tanzania's Lake Victoria. 43 people, including 39 passengers, 2 pilots and 2 crew members, were on the flight from the economic capital Dar es Salaam to Bukoba, a town on the shores of the lake, Africa's largest and the source of the Nile. The accident is being blamed on bad weather. Rescuers on Sunday afternoon worked to recover survivors and lift the plane out of the water using cables and cranes. At least 26 people have been rescued and evacuated to a hospital. Sunday's accident comes 5 years after 11 people were killed when a plane belonging to a safari company crashed in northern Tanzania. Antonio Guterres, United Nations Secretary General, has urged nations to focus on global warming and its hazardous impacts further brought to light by the war in Ukraine. He was speaking during the 27th session of the UN Climate Change Conference in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, with poignancy stating that the world is on a highway to climate hell with its foot on the gas pedal. Guterres also called upon world leaders to focus on the growing urgency of climate change and it further accelerated by the ongoing war in Ukraine. The conference was an occasion for northern countries and southern ones to discuss better solutions in putting an end to climate-related hazards. The Congolese army has announced a general mobilization of youth to fight the rebels from the March 23rd movement who are gaining ground in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. This follows calls by Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi for youth militant groups. At a news conference, a Democratic Republic of Congo Army spokesman Major General Sylvain Ekenge said the nation is in danger and it needs its worthy sons and daughters to serve it under the flag to defend the integrity of the territory. So far, the March 23 advances have displaced an estimated 183,000 people in North Kivu alone since October 20th and destabilized relations in Central Africa.
Dear viewers, that report out of the country brings us to the end of our 6 p.m. news, a recap of our major stories. Members and supporters of the ruling CPDM party are joined together nationwide to celebrate 40th Jubilee of His Excellency Paul Biya since his ascension to power on November 6, 1982. And in the Northwest region, ex-students of PHS Batibo, that is in Momo, Northwest region of the country, have raised an amount of 3.8 million to reconstruct the school that has been affected in one way or the other by socio-political crisis. This money was being raised during the annual General Assembly. And out of the country, at least 19 people have been reported dead in a plane crash that occurred in the Lake Victoria, that is in Tanzania. And thanks to the rescue team, at least 26 people were rescued. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow, God willing, is another day. Goodbye.